let's get into the video. This is about how to get straight A's. Yes, I've addressed that in other videos, but how to get ahead of your classmates. And it's not exactly in the way you think. Now, why do I say get ahead of your classmates? Because I know a lot of us, in order to get motivated, we need to sometimes think of something as a competition. Hey, you want to be the best. You want to beat everyone. Do better than them. Go further. Getting ahead of your classmates does not necessarily mean that you are getting the best grades, that you're doing better than everyone else. Yes, that can be one aspect, but we need to think in the grand scheme of things. What is going to put you ahead of everyone else? Winner is the person that puts in the least amount of work but goes the furthest. Number one, you need to have a goal in mind. What is your goal? For me, I wanted to go to Stanford. I wanted to go to Harvard. That drove me every single day. If there was a distraction that came up, I'd be like, nope, I'm laser focused on my goals. Nothing can distract me. What is your goal? You need to determine your overarching goal. Otherwise, you're going to have to constantly find like new motivation every single day. Like, oh, I don't want to study. Yeah, you don't want to study because you don't have a goal. If you have a goal in mind, studying actually becomes really, really easy for you. Number two, you need to get over your limiting beliefs. How many study videos have I made where all the comments are like, oh, but I have ADHD. Oh, but I'm doing a really hard degree. Babe, I know I did a psychology and marketing degree. I also did finance. I did law courses as well, hard maths courses. And when I was in high school, I did the most difficult courses you could do as well. And if you're in Australia, the last 2 years of our high school are actually equivalent to the first year of university in Australia. Either way, oh, I have memory issues, I have ADHD. Babe, I battled with all of that. I was not a good student. Go watch my other videos, but we're not getting into that. Okay, you need to identify your limiting beliefs. You can do this in the journal. Why do you have these beliefs? Do you really think that if you go into the school here with all of these excuses, beliefs, oh, like, I just don't have natural ability, I'm never gonna get an A, like, it's just not in the cards for me. Why are you watching this video? Like, go and fail. Go and fail. Your mindset is half of it. But when I was a CD student, I had that identity that I was just average. And it wasn't until I changed this around that I started to believe that, number one, I could do anything, that I could be a high achiever. Anyone can be a high achiever. Additionally, there was a Stanford study that showed the students that performed the best were actually the ones who had high EQ. This is in comparison to the intelligence quotient. And what this means is, do you have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset? A growth mindset will mean you see challenges and you're willing to overcome them and try harder. You see learning as a lifelong journey. You know, one failure doesn't upset you or hinder you for the remainder of the school year, for example. If you have a fixed mindset, you're probably just going to believe things like, oh, it's not in the cards for me to be a good student. I'm always going to get bad grades. One failure, it sets you back and you give up. School is not the be all end all. There is always another way to get to your goal. It's really interesting sometimes if you're really lost in high school to just get like an opinion. It doesn't mean you necessarily have to follow it. In fact, my tarot reader, she told me I would be in a creative field, and that's what my birth chart said, and this annoyed me because I wanted to be like a businesswoman, and I guess I still am in a way, but I just didn't see the creative side popping up in my life, and it naturally took that trajectory. Difference between a really great student and an average student is a really good student will use all resources available. I think we're all guilty of this, but we don't use our teachers enough. Teachers are there to help you. Literally, when I was in high school and uni, I would be at my teacher's office every day after school nearly. If I got a question, I email, or I YouTube it, or I go and check or something. Use all resources. And now we have the internet. The answers are online for everything. So many YouTube videos which can help you. You actually need to pre-plan what you do. Pre-plan your whole year out. I really think time management and preparation is like 50% of it. How many times has the teacher given you the brief for an assignment at the beginning of the year and you look at it and go, oh, easy, and then you start it a week beforehand and you're like, oh my god, this is gonna take me like 5 weeks to do. I really underestimated how difficult this is. Same with an exam. Oh, I'll like cram all the content in a few nights. No. Next, you need to figure out your study methods. Too many people are not studying effectively. And you can watch a video where someone goes, oh, this works for me. It might not work for you. I put a list in the journal of like 20, 30 different study methods, and what you should do is, for the first month, rapidly try all of them. Collect that data, execute upon it, see what works best. And then you can just do the top 3 study methods for the remainder of the year. What will also put you ahead of the curve? Deleting your social media. Every student almost has social media. They're distracted. If you delete it, you're automatically ahead of everyone. Hey, you just removed the biggest distraction out there. Meditate. Students don't take care of their mental health enough. Meditation, it will make your memory better as well. You'll perform better in school. I have other videos on this. 80-20 rule. The thing that will reap you most of the rewards, you should put most of your time to, basically. I'll give you an example. In year 11 and 12, our curriculum in high school was set up that the hard subjects would be weighted differently and the easy subjects would be worth less overall. I knew that the most rewards for me was in the harder subjects, and the easy ones I could, you know, not put much effort to, and I could still get a good grade. Even if it's more fun to study the easy ones, I knew it wasn't worth it. Because what good is it if I got like a 100 in accounting and then I got a 50 in chemistry, which will later get scaled down to like a 20, and then overall my grade would be something really, really low. It's better to like get a 70 in accounting without studying much and then get an 80 or 70 in chemistry, for example. Next, I didn't party or drink alcohol. Alcohol really has a long-lasting effect on your brain that can inhibit your ability to concentrate and study and just perform efficiently.